They say that history is the greatest of all teachers, and that tales of past deeds define who we are in the present, and what we shall be in the future. It is said that such tales shall, with each telling, illuminate us all with the light of truth. I shall tell you of such a tale. It is a tale quite familiar to me, for I have spent nearly a lifetime piecing it together and chronicling it here within this book. For years I have pondered its passages, studying every line, committing each word to memory. Perhaps now, in the telling of it, I shall at last find the answers I seek. Our story takes place in the northern region of Faerun, known as Icewind Dale. It is a harsh, frozen land, cut off from the rest of the world by a wall of jagged peaks called the Spine of the World. For centuries, the icy plains of the Dale have been home to the barbarian peoples of the Uthgard and Regedmund. Huddled together in small, closely knit tribes, the barbarians lived simple lives, free, proud, and fiercely independent. Until the day an archmage named Ericon came to Icewind Dale. With an army of mercenaries, Ericon sought to conquer the north and force the fierce barbarians into slavery. Long weeks of battle followed, and the scattered barbarian tribes suffered terrible losses. Defeat seemed inevitable. In their darkest hour, a barbarian shaman named Jared came forth and demanded a council between all the remaining tribes of the north. A respected warrior, Jared persuaded the council to put aside their differences and unite against Ericon. Strengthened by a new sense of purpose, the barbarians rallied behind their new leader. The combined might of the Northmen proved more than a match for Ericon, who had counted on the division of the tribes. Wave after wave of barbarian warriors tore into Ericon's hired army, forcing them on the defensive and ultimately into full retreat. As his army crumbled around him, Ericon had time for one last desperate act before his enemies descended upon him. Drawing upon his remaining power, the Archmage breached the planar boundaries, tearing open a portal to the lower planes. The foolish Archmage's cries of victory immediately turned to shrieks of terror as the hideous and twisted shapes of demonkind materialized from the portal and poured onto the battlefield. The sudden appearance of the demons drove the combatants, barbarian and mercenary alike, to turn to meet the new threat side by side. The remaining warriors bravely charged the portal to drive the hellspawn back and were slaughtered by the hundreds. As his people fell around him, the barbarian shaman, Jared, looked up from the blood-drenched snow of the battlefield and caught sight of a lone figure high upon a ridge in the distance. Jared immediately recognized this vision as an omen from his god Tempus, and in that instant, he knew what had to be done. Shouting cries to his god, he charged through the ranks of the demons and plunged into the portal. As Jared's blood fused with the energies of the portal, an explosion of white light engulfed the battlefield. When the light subsided, the demons were gone, and the portal was closed. In its place hovered a disk of solid stone. Frozen within the center of the disk was Jared's body, locked in his final moment of agony, in his final moment of triumph for all eternity. But that is not the end of our tale. It is but the beginning.
Welcome to Icewind Dale, the complete edition that includes the Heart of Winter expansion. let me quickly go over the features and modes I'm using, and then we'll jump right into the game. I'm playing on easy difficulty, and I manually created a party that I'm going to skip over the creation of. I will cover quickly when we actually start the game here momentarily what my characters are and their proficiencies. Also, I've tried to make sure the music was turned down a little bit and the ambient sounds are turned up all the way, because I do audio editing that should hopefully really bring out the richness and quality of the life sounds, like the chatter of NPCs in a tavern, or kids playing and people talking and milling about when you're in a village. So hopefully the sounds really come out and improve the experience. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
Our tale begins here, in the quiet fishing village of Easthaven, one of the so-called 10 towns of Icewind Dale. The tiny community is hardly a town, but rather a collection of ramshackle huts crowded together upon the icy shores of Lech Dineshire. Here, within a dimly lit tavern, a group of travelers sit huddled around a table, swapping tales and making grand plans for the future, completely unaware of the part they are to play in the events that are about to unfold.
What's this? New face in town, eh? Well met, stranger. The name is Hrothgar, originally of Hillsfar. But now, after years of traveling up, down, and under Faerun, I am content to call this town my home. Who might you be? Well then, welcome to Easthaven. Whatever your business in these parts might be, I would offer you this small piece of advice. While you're in my town, you do well to be on your best behavior. These folk are under my protection, and anyone who would seek to do harm to them in any way shall answer to me. That said, I'll let you get back to your cups. I'm sure you've had a long journey, and you'll find there's no better way to shake off the cold of the road than by downing a few mugs of Grisella's best. And if you're in need of lodging, I would recommend talking to Quimby over at the Snowdrift Inn, over on the east side of town. Equipment and supplies can be purchased next door, at Pomab's Emporium. Pomab's prices are a bit high, even for a Kalashite. But you'd be better off well-equipped and short of coin than the other way around. Ill-prepared travelers don't last long in these parts. Once you've had a chance to rest up and get your bearings, come by and see me at my house. It's just a couple doors west of here. There's some business I would discuss with you. Farewell.
Okay, welcome. And this is Icewind Dale Complete Edition, by the way. So it has, I think it's called the Heart of Winter expansion in it. And I chose the full game to, which includes the Heart of Winter content. This is my first time actually, giving Icewind Dale a go. I've tinkered with the beginning areas.
My pleasure.
Never really played it, though. Haven't seen you in town before. You come from the south. So, we'll get our bearings here. I think first off, I want to show the character party that I created. I manually created it. Let me finish talking to this guy. And we will look at... I think this is how we can look at our party. Okay, so I have 2 fighters, a ranger, a mage, a cleric, and a thief. That's what I went with. I manually created these, so they're all level 1. With 0 experience so far. So, here's Conte. Female, human, neutral, good. And she has weapon proficiencies in great swords and large swords. I've got Bantis. half-elf, chaotic good male. Weapon for proficiencies in clubs, halberds, and large swords. Flint is my ranger. He's an elf, chaotic good male. His proficiencies are bows, crossbows, and daggers. Bliss is my mage, who's a human, chaotic neutral female. Weapon proficiency, missile weapon. Liara is my cleric, who's an elf, neutral good female. Proficiencies in missile weapons and quarterstaves. And Whisk is my thief, halfling chaotic neutral male. His proficiency in dagger and small swords. Now, let me see if I can't show the magic. Let's see, information. I want to show off what I chose for starting spells. Not sure I can right there. Well, we could get to that a bit later. Going from memory, I believe for my cleric, I chose Cure Light Wounds. I'm having trouble recalling at the moment. Party formation. So let's just kind of get started. I know a little bit of this beginning area. I wandered around town just a wee little bit. Really just a little bit. If I'm asking Grisella for a drink, of course. Hey, yes indeed. Yes, well, you see, I'm in a bit of a bind. Well, the tavern hasn't run dry. I do have some stock, but somewhat of a pest problem. So we're gonna offer to help. That's awfully sweet of you, dearie. Have no fear, madam. I shall see to it. So, we can head downstairs. Get our first little taste of combat.
That battle is ours! Looks like I'm gonna have to go on a killing spree.
Interesting how the AI decided to separate the party. Alright. We've vanquished the evil. They look like ants.
My pleasure.
Let's go back and report to Grisella.
Right away.
It is done. Alright, we gained experience. Don't know how much, but some. And gold. Alright. This guy, I think, offers up a tad different dialogue than some of the other NPCs. Well met. Vein of Ore, what do you mean? What I'm saying is, you look a little new. Oh, I see. What news do you have? Not all eyes and ears, mostly. I've been keeping... So Rothagar is putting together some sort of expedition. I'll be going myself. I'm gonna just, start making up sounds. I mean, voices here before too long. Folks around here say Rothagar be a valiant man. That's a good idea. I'll go find him. Farewell. Alright, so I think there's not a whole lot different to get from the other NPCs. I'm actually gonna go ahead and skip them. Let's head outside. It's bright out. It's daylight. Let's head over here.
Away.
I think this is Pomab, who is next door here. We're waiting for everybody to get close? Okay. Alright.
My pleasure.
Shopkeeper. Pomab, what is this? More barbarians come to my shop? Barbarians, I think you're mistaken, friend. Am I now? I do not think so. All of you northerners are the same to me. Smelly and barbaric. Keep pushing it, I'll show you just how barbaric I can be. How dare you speak to me in such a manner? No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. I'm Pomad, Ak-Azmir, Royal Diplomatic Envoy of Kalimshan, and appointed overseer of the northern caravan routes. Forgive me, your lordship. Oh, sure, and I am the king of Mithril Hall. Ha! Your poor attempt at sarcasm is an obvious sign of your lowly birth. If you're in such good standing, then what in the nine hells are you doing all the way up here in Icewind Dale? The Pasha, asked me to accept this post of overseer. I see, likely this post is not but a convenient excuse for the Pasha to get rid of a royal pain in his arse. I would not expect someone of your station to understand such matters. Fine, what do you have for sale? Alright, so let's see. Buy and sell. Buying and selling. I decided to retroactively edit the video and skip showing me buying and selling everything, so this is what I bought for now, which I might be doing a lot wrong, I don't know, but for Conte, I got her this helmet. And these helmets confuse me a little bit. They don't. There's one that's like 1 gold and one that's worth, a couple was worth 7 gold, but they all have the exact same little stats, which are no armor class, but they protect against critical hits. And I got Conte chainmail armor. I think I did the same for Bantis. I got him this helmet and chainmail armor. Oh, let me go back to Conte. I also got Conte a longsword that does 1d8 damage. And I believe I did the same for Bantis. Yeah. For my ranger, another one of these helmets, leather armor, a light crossbow, and a whole bunch of bolts that do 1d8 damage, and I stocked up on a bunch of those. Bliss couldn't really equip much. I got her a bunch of darts, and she has the starting quarterstaff. Liara was able to wear a helmet and leather armor, and I accidentally wasted some gold by buying a quarterstaff for her, and she gets a quarterstaff to start with, and they're the same stats. And then Whisk, I got a dagger, does 1d4, and a bunch of throwing daggers. And he can't wear a helmet, and I got him leather armor. So that's my party makeup right now. My equipment, gear makeup. So let's...
Right away.
Unfortunately, moving has to be button. I have to button mash to move at all here. So let's do a little exploring here. I believe this is Hrothgar's home right here. And Hrothgar.
By your leave.
Well met, friend, and welcome to my home. Make yourselves comfortable, but try not to break anything. Many of these curiosities that you see lying about have sentimental value.
Where did you get all of these?
Oh, they're all remembrances of my adventuring days. Little trinkets and the like that I picked up here and there. More keepsakes than valuables, really. Leftovers from my days of fortune and glory.
Adventuring? So you retired?
Semi-retired, actually. This region is still untamed and fraught with many dangers. I have had plenty of opportunities in the last few years to take up my sword and shield and do battle with those who threaten the safety of Easthaven and its neighbors. In fact, I am planning such an expedition right now. That is what I wanted to speak to you about.
What sort of expedition?
We've received word from Kaldahar, our neighbors to the south, that evil forces are stirring nearby in the spine of the World Mountains. I am organizing and leading a party from Easthaven south to Kaldahar Valley to investigate. You look to be capable enough. Perhaps you'd like to join us. What say you?
What sort of evil forces?
I don't really know. The messenger wasn't too specific. I suppose if you want more details, you could ask old Everard over at the temple, but time's a-wasting. We need to get this expedition moving before the snows seal off the pass to Kaldahar. So what's it going to be? Are you in or out?
Well, if there's treasure to be had...
Excellent. Glad to have you on board. I plan to assemble the rest of the expedition and set out for Kaldahar within a few days. With storms brewing in the mountains, I'd rather we depart sooner. But there are matters that require my attention here about town.
What sort of matters?
Actually, now that I think about it, maybe you can help. Pomab, the local shopkeeper, has recently expressed concern over the rapidly thinning stock of his store. He's been complaining that the regular caravan from Caer Dineval is long overdue, and that if they don't arrive soon, he's sure to be out of business. Now, normally I'd take Pomab's whining with a grain of salt, but with heavy snows on the way, it would be best to make sure that caravan makes it through.
So what is it you want me to do?
I want you to find that caravan. Leave town by way of the South Bridge and scout the hills west of Loch Dinnershire, between Easthaven and Caer Dineval. Caravans always stick close to the shoreline this time of year.
So leave south and scout the hills west of Loch Dinnershire, between Easthaven and Caer Dineval.
Once you find it, see the caravan safely to Easthaven. In the meantime, I'll assemble the rest of the expedition and make the final plans for our journey. Return here as quickly as you can. We must make for Kaldahar Pass while the weather is favorable. Good luck. Safe journey.
Farewell. So let us visit the temple.
Understood.
Understood. I believe this is the temple. Oh, who's this? I heard there were new faces in town. Did you come with the caravan? I lived here for quite a span. We'll exit that. Let's just head into the temple. The temple.
Watch me work.
Hello, my name is Akalia. I'm an initiate. Well met, I'm Conte. Lord of Battles was so popular up here, I didn't realize. Tempest is revered a great deal by the barbarian tribes up here. They call him Tempos. We immigrants see a lot of conflict in these parts, and people want to make sense out of it all. Barbarian tribes, how do they feel about the 10 towns? It changes from season to season, from year to year, like all things. They are mistrustful of us immigrants and often view our settlements here as an intrusion on their land. Sounds like a love-hate relationship. At least they don't try to kill you all the time. It's part of our daily routine. You said we immigrants. Where are you from? I'm originally from Neverwinter. I came here to aid Battle Lord Everard when the former war priest Renfeld was killed in a battle against the barbarians near Burn Shander. I guess those barbarians really don't like the immigrants too much. Okay, there seems to be a dangerous place to live. I must be going. I believe this is Everard.
Hrothgar mentioned there were strangers in town. What is it you want? Yes, I am Everard. Everard of Tempus, battle priest of the Lord of Battles. What brings you here?
You carry the scars of war.
These eyes have seen battle, yes. and my skin bears the mark of swords and axes. That was long ago. Now my place is here.
Why would you leave battle behind?
Because there are many ways one may serve one's god. I am of the Order of the Broken Blade. My duty is to watch this place.
Order of the Broken Blade?
Yes, we were warriors. Wounded in battle, our injuries now keep us far from the front lines. Still, we are fit to guard holy sites to our Lord.
This is a holy site?
It is sacred to Tempus, yes. It marks the field where the barbarian Jared gave up his life ages ago. He lies encased in stone beneath this temple.
Ah, so he is beneath the temple. The dude that was frozen in a stone sphere.
Jared was a shaman who lived long ago. He brought unity to the northern tribes and led them to victory against the army of Ericon, at the cost of his life.
How did he die?
Once Ericon saw his army routed by Jared and the northern tribes, he sought to bring the Hells to his aid. Ericon opened a gate to the lower plains.
He brought demons to the battlefield. The northern tribes would have been destroyed.
I do not believe that. Jared did. It is said that Tempus himself appeared to Jared upon the battlefield, and Jared took that as a sign.
To do what?
Jared believed Tempus was calling him to sacrifice himself for his people to ensure victory. And so he cast his body into the portal, his blood fusing it to stone. It lies entombed beneath the temple to this day.
You don't sound like you agree with Jared's choice.
Jared had no need to sacrifice himself. Tempus's appearance was a test of faith, proof Jared's people had already won the field that day. Jared failed his god and died a coward's death.
Are you sure his death was in vain? Jared did seal the poor.
One dies for Tempus with a blade in one's hand, not by martyring oneself within the embrace of infernal magics. Jared's duty was to stand with his comrades, not cast himself to his death when the field was already theirs.
Well, you just said there's many ways to serve your god Tempus. And one is you, as a former warrior, sit here and watch over this place. You're not, dying with a blade in your hand, as far as I can see.
Sacrifice? Let me say this of sacrifice, young one. Then we shall speak of this no more. Sacrifice is a death that has meaning. When it is in vain, it is not sacrifice. It is a waste. That is the lesson of Jared's stone.
And the stone is buried beneath the temple?
Aye, a great stone disc that holds Jared's corpse for eternity. And so I watch and guard it in Tempus's name.
I see.
You are free to ask, traveler. I promise no answers.
Do you know anything about the expedition?
I have heard of it, yes. A messenger from Kuldahar visited the temple not long ago, and it has spurred Hrothgar to see what is happening in the north.
A messenger?
Yes. A man from Kuldahar found his way to our door, and he was dead by morning. He claimed he was a messenger from the Archdruid of Kuldahar.
What did he want?
The man spoke of disturbances in Kuldahar. His wounds prevented me from making any sense of his words. Perhaps Hrothgar understood more than I, for he's preparing an expedition.
Are you going on this expedition?
No, for my place is here. Were I invited, I would still not go. My injuries would only slow the expedition.
I must take my leave. Farewell. Alright, so let's go back to Pomab. Well, actually, you know what?
It will be done.
Let's go down here, because I think there's... I want to see how I fare now that I geared up. when I first explored, this is about as far as I explored to get my bearings. And I had had a tough time with this little enemy here that this guy tells me about. So, right now, I'm going to save. Let's see, let's save, overwrite. Alright, now. Oh, thank the gods. Whoever you are, you picked the perfect time. I could really use your help. The name's Absol, but please, we don't have time. I need your help. A wolf somehow got into my workshop and is tearing the place apart. Your shop, what do you sell? I'm a scrimshander. I carve huge bony skulls of knucklehead trout into fine works of art. What is it exactly that you want me to do? I'd be most grateful if you could go in there and get rid of that stupid thing. Very well, I'll dispatch your troublesome hound shortly. I sincerely thank you. The door to my shop is just around the corner. Please get rid of that demonic canine. No, actually, I'm going to save it again, I think. Here. Alright, so it is locked. So I think if I go into fight, you have successfully forced the door open. Alrighty then. So I believe as soon as we go in here, we'll be in a fight. We'll see our first, well, not our first, but okay, so I can pause, hit to attack. Ow! Wow. That went way easier than the first time I tried it. I didn't suffer any damage. Alright, nice. We gained some experience. There's some things and stuff laying around. I don't think anything to really take, just to look at. So let's go back out.
By your leave.
Let's report back to Absol. Ah, my friend, the wolf is no more. I'm now a happy man. Thank you. Alright, we gained some gold. Let's go back to... I have to button mash to uncover a little bit more places we haven't been. Let's talk to this person here. Who's this? Haven't seen you in town. Okay. That looks like that same generic response from some of the NPCs. Hey, oh, sorry friend, I didn't see you there. Name's Jonan. Something I can do for you? Are you alright? You seem preoccupied. No, I'm fine. Just taking in the view. Trying to shake these dreams. Dreams, usually those fade upon waking. Ah, well, the dreams have been fishing in me of late, friend, so much I can barely catch a wink before they rouse me from it. What kind of dreams? Well, there's a woman, and don't give me that eye, it's not like you think. She walks upon the surface of the lake as if it were flagstone instead of waves. She doesn't say anything, just sings beautiful songs. But I can't understand a word. Well, if dreams are your only worry, your life can't be too bad. If truth be told, friend, there's no sense to it. These dreams are eating at me like a starving wolf. If I can find some way to help you, I will. I don't know how I can, but I'll see what I can find out. Hey, you're not playing on a man's hopes, are you? I'll see what I can do. If I think of anything, I will return. Okay, let's stop back at, I think this is Pomaps right here. Onward to Pomabs.
Understood.
See if he has anything more to say. You again. Why must you continuously pester me? Guess there's nothing to be done about that. Okay. So we have a mission to go find the caravan.
It will be done.
This, I believe, is the inn. Oh, who's this? Yes, can I help you? We'll skip that. Now, we should have a map. Take a peek at. This is the world map, which doesn't go left or right, but up and down, and it's very artistic. I kind of like that art style. It's not really a map so much as a sort of like a dramatization of this part of the world. But it looks like we'll be visiting plenty of places. So this is the area. I'm guessing down south somewhere is where we can exit the town, maybe over here to the west. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and we'll pick up, and then at the beginning of the next video we'll head out to find this caravan and see what adventure awaits.